Okay, quick story time. So, today I'm telling the story of when I ran away from boot camp. I called it boot camp. It was like a wilderness camp for kids who are bad or something. Anyways, we won't get into that today, but basically, it was this camp in Tennessee and it was on a catfish farm. And they divided us into like tribes. The counselors were called chiefs. It was a little, probably wouldn't fly today, but I don't believe that the camp exists anymore. But it was like a very expensive place for rich people to send their kids that they didn't know what the fuck to do with. So my parents sent me there. It was actually like a crazy situation because it was one of those where like two people come into your room, and my mom did tell me it wasn't like a kidnapping situation where I didn't know what the hell was going on. She was like, these people are here to take you to camp. I don't remember their names. She said their names. And I was like, okay, fuck, I'm naked, so let me get dressed. But yeah, oh man, that was crazy. I was so emotional. But I like just did not make a sound when I cried. And then the lady said I was one of the only people who never cried. Anyways, irrelevant fact. Went to this camp. It was summer, or like about summer. Like school was almost out for my junior year. And so I didn't finish the school year. I just got taken to the camp. I'm there, and fast forward, we went on this really cool canoe trip in the summer. I think like probably beginning of June or something like that, or maybe like, I don't know, sometime in June probably. And it was so much fun, and me and all the other girls had such a great time. Oh, quick mention, I guess I said that we were divided into tribes or whatever. But anyway, so we had so much fun. And then in July, we were set to go on this bike trip. So before we went on the trip, they did we had to retrieve the bikes from somewhere on the camp. And then we had to like learn how to take them apart, because that was like pretty much the only thing. And we rode them a little bit, but we just rode them around like a road area. And then we, pack up all our stuff. We go on this trip. We get there. We set up camp. We're like set up on this cool horse farm. So we get up in the morning and we have like trails mapped out that we're supposed to go on. And we're like separated. I guess we weren't really separated. It was like counselors in the front and maybe one in the middle and one in the back, because like we all, of course, weren't going the same speed. And one of the counselors was actually just so excited to be out there that she like was ahead with one of the really, really sporty girls. So we're going along, and it was hell. I mean, mountain biking, like up and down hills and trails. I mean, it wasn't like literally on a mountain, but it was not easy. And it was so hot. It was July 27th. Was it July 27th? Maybe July 26th. I think it was July 27th. Yeah. So July 27th, it's super hot. We're in Georgia somewhere. I'm pretty sure we went from Tennessee to Georgia. Maybe we were still in Tennessee. I don't know. Either way, it was so hot. And we're going along, and I was kind of like hanging out with my one friend. I don't think she'll care if I'll use her name. So I was hanging out with Chelsea. We were just like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. We started talking about what if we just like went off the trail and went and hid and just like messed with people a little bit, or just did something crazy, because we were just like, this is horrible. I mean, we were not trained to be on this bike trip. So we're talking about this and we're like, let's do it. Let's just go. We were so far separated from our counselors. This never happened. So we decided, let's do it. So we're going down the trail and we're trying to find somewhere to get off the trail. And we run into our one friend. I'm not going to say her name, but she was having a heat stroke or something. I mean, she was having a serious problem. They shouldn't have had us on this trip. We are such assholes. We just left her. We asked her if she wanted to come with us. She was just crying. She couldn't handle it. We were like, the counselors will have to come and deal with her. And so we took off the trail. We found a road. We rode on the road some. We went, on the side of the road sometimes. We tried to stay off the road. We had to walk up hills because the road was actually so hilly. We're sweating, we're disgusting. I mean, like, we are just so sweaty and nasty. And we are, you know, in the middle of nowhere. We have no idea where we are. We're just near this like state park, Big South Fork. And so we come to like a parking lot, sort of side of the road parking lot in this state park. And there's four or five guys putting tubes into a car, and they were getting ready to go home. And I just had a good feeling about these guys. So we rode over to them. We just said, we just escaped a wilderness camp. We just straight up told them exactly what was going on, that we escaped. We needed to get away. They said, you know, that sounds like something my parents would have sent me to when I was a kid. And that's so messed up. And so they actually took us with them to smoke weed somewhere. So we got super stoned in this state park. And then, you know, we needed to get out of there. And they said, one of the guys said, hey, you know, I've been looking to buy mountain bikes. You know, I'll buy them off of you so you can have some money. So we sold the camp's bikes for $150 each, $300. And then they actually drove us to the nearest town and dropped us off at Walmart. So we bought different clothes. I bought some makeup. I was like, ooh, it's time. We're getting the hell out of here. So then we really didn't know what to do after that. So when we were in the Walmart parking lot, we ran into one of the guys, not the guy who had been driving before, one of the guys who, I guess they had like all parked in the parking lot and then gone in one car. So we run into this guy, and he said, well, I'm going home to Knoxville, Tennessee, so you guys could come with me. So we went with him to his home, this random man. We decided, this will be fine. We'll just go with this random man. And when I tell people this story, they're like, how the hell did you not die? How did you not die? Well, I'm blessed. That's all I have to say. I'm just so lucky that nothing happened. We're lucky nothing happened to us. Anyways, we spent the night at this guy's house. In the meantime, we had stopped over at one of his friends' houses, and we had like logged into our Facebook. And so and then we left and went to this guy's house in Knoxville, far away. So they actually showed up at the friend's house. The cops showed up at the friend's house, said their Facebook was accessed from this IP address, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, I don't know what's going on. They left. Felt so bad for that. But then the next morning, this guy had to go to work. So he left and went to work. And then we decided, okay, what the hell are we going to do? Let's go do something. So we just decided to go walk to the store and call our parents. Meantime, crazy side note, some guy like in a Jeep followed us around and then exposed himself to us randomly before we got to the store where we were going to call our parents. So I called my parents. I said, I'm not telling you where I am unless I can come home. They said, fine, you can come home, whatever. We'll buy you a plane ticket. Can you get to the airport? I said, yeah. We went to the train station and bought Chelsea a train. Was it train or bus? Either train or bus ticket home. I got her on the train. I took a cab to the airport, got on the plane, and that was it. I never had to go back. Chelsea did end up having to go back eventually, and I think that really sucked for her. But yeah, my parents were just the types to then just be pissed. They were just mad at the camp, and they were like, oh, they tried to make it better with me for a while, but all of that is another story. Hope you enjoyed this one. Bye.